Hey everyone, welcome back to Ragtag Stacking. In today's video, I want to talk about central banks and how much gold they accumulated over the month of April. Now, I did touch on this in a previous video talking about what Canada had done with all of their gold a few years back, and they sold the whole lot. You know what I mean? They're like, we have no use for this gold. We want to sell it off completely, which, didn't really make a lot of sense in my head. And this article kind of goes over, obviously, it's talking about the central banks did increase by quite a bit, but they also touched on some of the central banks that were actually sellers during April, because it wasn't just a buying spree for every central bank. There were, a couple of main ones that made up the bulk of the purchasing. But in this article, they actually do go over some of the countries that were selling. Not like Canada selling off every single ounce of gold that they have, but just for the month of April, they were finding themselves in the selling position. But obviously, that could change the next month. It could flip right over to them being buyers again. So yeah, that's why I want to talk about this article, because it does show both sides of the coin, buyers and sellers. But when you see the title, you'll see that this is going to be mainly talking about how the central banks have increased their gold holdings by quite a bit in April. All right, so this is the article here. It is on kitco.com, and it says central banks bought 19.4 tons of gold in April, remains net buyers in 2022. And that's from the WGC, the World Gold Council. Every time I see WGC, I just think of golf, though. Getting into it now, it says central bank gold demand is attracting new attention in 2022. However, official reserves have been meandering between buyers and sellers, according to the latest report from the World Gold Council. It says Monday, the WGC said that central banks were again net purchasers of the precious metal, and global reserves increasing by 19.4 tons in April. According to the latest reserve data, 4 central banks were primary purchasers in April. Azerbaijan bought 8.7 tons of gold. Kazakhstan increased its reserves by 5.3. And then it says the WGC noted that for the first increase for both countries this year, and follows 3 months of consecutive selling. So it is normal for central banks to sell some of their gold, but like I had referenced before, Canada they just got rid of everything. So that's why I feel that's kind of an outlier of all the countries. Because yes, buying and selling is common, but just dumping all of your gold does not make a lot of sense. It says Turkey continued its gold buying this year, adding another 5.6 tons, taking its gold reserves to was 436 tons, representing 27.8%. So yeah, Turkey is definitely loading up on the gold. We've seen what's been going on with their lira, so it does make a lot of sense that there would be loading up on gold. And finally, India increased its gold holdings by a fractional 0.9 tons to bring their haul up to 761.3 tons. Yeah, gold is hugely popular in India. Obviously, the central banks are picking it up, but I know especially when it comes time to wedding season around there, that's definitely when you see a lot of gold purchases from consumers. And on the opposite side here, they do show some of the ones that are selling. Germany sold 0.9 tons of their gold, which the WGC said was likely related to coin minting. Both Mexico and the Czech Republic sold 0.1 tons of gold. Yes, Egypt has been the largest buyer following the chunky 44.1 tons purchased in April, but Turkey is not far behind. Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan remain the largest sellers so far in 2022, despite the purchases in April. And it does say here that even though the Czech Republic was selling in April, it says newly appointed central bank governor Alice Mishi, that's an awful pronunciation, I'm sorry, said that he plans to increase the nation's gold reserves to 100 tons. And then with everything happening in Russia, it says that central bank gold demand has been attracting new attention this year due to, as I said, the invasion of Ukraine. As a result, Western nations led by the U.S. have imposed significant sanctions on the U.S. The weaponizing of the U.S. dollar could prompt some central banks to increase their gold holdings and diversify away from the U.S. dollar. And it goes a little bit more down here. I'm not going to read the whole thing. I did read pretty much the majority of the first half of the article, but it's not too long. And I got to the points that I wanted to touch on. But I will leave a link in the article if you would like to go over the article in total and read it yourself. So there you go. There you have it. I know it's June, and these are just the April numbers, so who knows what it's going to be for May. But it was pretty interesting to see that there were quite a few central banks loading up on gold in the month of April. And I'm not too surprised seeing that one country there that are huge buyers is Turkey, given what we've seen with a lot of what's been going on with the lira. So it does make sense that they were going to be wanting to pick up a bunch of gold to have in reserve because their currency is failing right now. But it does seem to be a very popular thing right now amongst nations to be picking up gold. And for me, I'm still going to be picking up as much gold as I can get my hands on. I have not picked up my 10th ounce piece for the month of June. May 10th ounce piece I actually bought in April, so it's been even longer since my last gold purchase. But I do plan on purchasing that 10th ounce coin. And my grand total for the year, I want to get 3.5 ounces. And I think I'm a little bit over the halfway mark there. I think I'm at 1.95 ounces of gold for the year. So I'm well on track to meet that 3.5 ounces. And last year I did it where I wanted to get 2 ounces of the in the quarter ounce size. For this year, I'm doing the 3.5, but with no size specifications. I already picked up a 1 ounce. I picked up a couple of tenth, a couple of quarter. So it's every size. It's not just going to be that quarter ounce gold that I had last year. For the 3.5 ounces, it's going to be any size coin or bar. I haven't bought any bars yet, but I do think I'm going to meet that goal quite quickly, actually. But I would like to hear what you guys think. I would like to know if you're going along the same lines as a lot of these central banks and trying to pick up as much gold as you can. I do know from talking with a lot of you in the comments that you've kind of put a halt on some of your silver purchasing, and that has increased your gold stack recently. But I would like to know if you are still picking up gold and silver, or if you've stopped picking up both gold and silver. Either way, I would like to hear from you in the comments. But anyways, that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you come back for the next one. Thank you.